Whew, Lordy. So this prep has definitely been challenging. It's had its ups and its downs. I mean, every prep is different. And one thing I don't do is I don't compare one prep to the next. But I will say that I feel like God has asked me, like, how bad do you want this? And if you want it this badly, what are you willing to do to work for it? And are you willing to, you know, fight through the battles that I'm getting ready to throw your way? And I feel like it's made me a better competitor, a better fighter, and more equipped to handle what it will be like becoming an IFBB Pro. So this prep has definitely been different and challenging, and I will let you know the challenges that I have gone through this prep. When I first started my prep, I believe it was April 1st was my official prep day to start prep. I actually found out that my boyfriend and I were expecting a child. And it was obviously unexpected, but it was a happy time because it was, you know, something that we've always wanted. It just kind of came unexpectedly. And unfortunately, as soon as we found out, I lost it. And that was devastating to me because, you know, you go through these emotions, you obviously put your life of prep and competing on hold because, you know, you're bringing a life into the world. And then to kind of have that, I wouldn't say snatched away, but just to have that glimpse, that glimmer of hope, and then it goes away, it was devastating and it was heartbreaking. But we handled it. I handled it well, I believed. I knew that it was God's will, and that later in life, at another time, that will be my destiny. So it was heartbreaking and it was sad, and I obviously went into a black hole when I found out. But you know, with his support and with prayer and through counseling, we got through it, and I decided to continue and to keep going and to pursue my dream as an IFBB Pro this year. So right now I am 1 week out from, well no, 6 days out from North Americans, which is a pro qualifier. I am claiming that I will get my pro card at this show. I'm really excited about it. I kind of went into it these last 4 weeks in the prep, like really powerful, really strong, had an awesome mindset. You know, my weight was coming down. I was having great check-ins. And then 2 weeks ago, my father called and told me that he was being rushed to the hospital. He had severe pain going down his back and down his leg, and he didn't know if it was like nerve pain or sciatica, or he didn't know what it was, but it was scary. And you know, for me to be thousands of miles away and him not having any close family, that really kind of put my whole heart into like this heart attack mode. And so I wasn't prepared for that. And when you're in prep, you will come across things that you're not prepared for. I've heard girls who've had breakups or a bad grade in school or, you know, evictions, whatever. These things happen, and I feel like if you are in a mindset to handle them and to really give them to God and to really just focus in on your goal and to make sure that, you know, God is going to handle whatever outside things are going on, that just makes you a stronger person. So I really had to give that to God. I like to be in control. I like to make sure that people are taken care of. And at that point, I couldn't get to my dad as quickly as I wanted to. So he's fine now. He got an MRI on Tuesday. He's going to the neurologist in a couple of weeks. So I'm just praying that God keeps him healthy and strong. This is, I feel like, the fight of my life. But I'm just I can't do anything but give it to God. Everything right now, even the outcome of, you know, what happens in 6 days is out of my control. I've done all that I can physically, mentally, spiritually to prepare for it. My dad is doing all that he can spiritually, mentally, and physically to prepare for his appointments. And at this point, it's in God's hands, and I have to give it to him. So my why, as I mentioned earlier in the series, really is to help other women and to be a staple of inspiration for other people to really go after their dreams, whether it be in bodybuilding or owning a gym. Like my client here who has built this, I mean, he hasn't built it from the ground up, but he took over a gym and I am really proud of him. And so if I could be a staple of inspiration to other people to really like go after their dreams, that really is my why. And to be honest, I thought that was my why up until my dad got sick. And my why, it didn't change, it became more streamlined. And my why now is to make sure that my family never has to want for anything. And one of the reasons why it's so important for me to get this goal as becoming an IFBB Pro is that I don't want my prep to be a distraction as to why I can't come back and see my dad. I don't want to be so zoned in and focused on, the specific goal that I can't be there for my dad. So one reason is to obviously be a staple of inspiration for other people, but two is to go ahead and get that goal so that I can be there for my family. So I have a two-sided why, but ever since my dad got sick 2 weeks ago, my why has been a little more streamlined and focused towards family. So, well, as you know, in prep, there will be lots of distractions that come in your life. And a lot of times it's people you haven't talked to in years that might need a favor, or just like out of the blue, something that's gonna just completely take you off track of your goal. And one thing that I've done differently this prep is I've been saying no. And it's not no in like a mean or a disrespectful manner, but it's almost like I respect you so much that I don't want to commit myself to something that I know I can't fulfill because I'm already have another priority in front of that. So to make sure that I don't overpromise and underdeliver, sorry, but no. And me being the giving person that I am, that's hard, but that's something that I've had to do, and it's actually worked out for me. So I've given everything in this prep to God, and I'm not here to be an evangelist or to convert you into the faith, but that's just my belief and that's my faith. And everything that has come to me that I have perceived as a challenge or a distraction, I pray about it. I pray and I give it to God because, as I mentioned before, I've done all I can do. I drank all the water, I did all the workouts, I cooked all the meals, I killed myself on the track, I killed myself in the gym. I extend myself to people to help them while I'm in my prep. And at this point, you really have to give it to a higher being. So whoever that higher being is to you, to me it's God, but I put so much of my faith in Him to carry me through, not just in prep, but in life. That's just my life philosophy, so. Man, so it's funny because, with this social media driven world, people are driven to think that females like myself that, work out and compete, like that's all we do. And while that might be true for, a small minority of us, the majority of the ladies that you see that are in the NPC and the IFBB, we have real jobs. We are career women. Many of us are mothers to multiple children. Many of the ladies are full-time entrepreneurs. I happen to be a commercial banker. I also own a tax franchise, and that takes up a lot of my time. And so I have to really be a master of my time. I literally plan my life out like a month and a half in advance. And my friends always joke with me like, if you ain't on Mignon's calendar, it ain't happening. It's like, yeah, you're right, because I have to, be a master of my time. So Sundays, I plan all of my workouts. I also prep all of my meals. I have to go see customers and clients throughout the week, so I have to make sure that my workouts get in early in the morning, and the last thing at night, I still have to get my 7 hours of sleep per night. Sleep is important, you guys. So yeah, it's difficult, but it's doable. And there are lots of ladies who compete that have full-time jobs and are full-time mothers and are full-time entrepreneurs and all three and compete. So it's just, you have to prioritize. And the things that matter, cut them out. The things that do, go for it.